morning, everyone. Happy Thursday morning. Welcome to the Daily Faith Builder. Hope you're doing well this morning. We're very thankful for all the snow, kind of almost unexpected snow we've been having, which is wonderful. What a blessing. Hope y'all are getting up for just a wonderful Christmas. It's been a crazy year, but boy, we need to end this year with our hearts right focused on the one that we can depend on and who is not changing, same yesterday, today, and forever. That's where our hope is. So this week we've been looking at the idea of joy, the joy of unity in Philippians chapter 2. And we've looked at three big questions. We'll come to the third this morning. The first one is, does church bring us joy? And we talked about that earlier in the week. Second one is, going a little deeper, is does Jesus bring us joy? Probably the most important question we can ask. And is he the source of our joy, and wrestling with what that looks like? And then we come to this last question which is even deeper still for us to really think about, is does obedience to Jesus bring us joy? And have we ever thought about the idea that disobedience to the Word of God, disobedience to Jesus, is really the biggest joy killer there is? And that obedience to Jesus, as we follow his commands, that is what gives us joy. I think bringing the idea of obedience into this equation with joy, it really shifts the whole emphasis. And this is where Paul goes in chapter 2 of Philippians, where he starts out writing, calling the body to gather and to complete his joy by being unified in modeling the humility of Jesus. And then he gives us some of this beautiful language in chapter 2 of Jesus, what he did. He humbled himself, left heaven, took on the form of a servant, took on physical, human body to come save us. And then he moves in the last part with this exhortation. He says in verse 12, "Therefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, so now, not only as in my presence, but much more in my absence, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God who works in you, both to will and to work for his good pleasure. Do all things without grumbling or disputing." Now, I think we can all agree that we've probably all done some grumbling and disputing this last year. But, when there's a void of joy, what fills the gap there is disputing and grumbling. When the fruit of the Spirit is not coming alive, well, what's coming alive? The flesh and everything that goes with it. And again, this is why Paul says, church, be unified in your mind in pursuing the humility of the cross, of following Jesus, submitting to him, considering others, right, more important than ourselves. Work out this, because as unity is pursued, it's a joy factory, right? The fruit of the Spirit, right, it comes alive. But there's some powerful language here that Paul says part of our responsibility is to work out this gift that God has given us. And this is not to just be an individual command, but this is also corporately. This is why we can't just expect transformation on our own personal journey. We need to be involved in a local body of believers and in discipleship, where we iron sharpens iron, where we really work out this salvation and grow. And realize that the magnitude of God is at work inside us, to will and to work for his good pleasure, and to partner with him in this process. And so obedience to Jesus, it is the process. It's of us humbling ourselves, right? Modeling him, that we're preparing our soul, right, for the fruit of the Spirit. And joy is obviously one of the fruit of the Spirit that we're focusing on here, that we seem to be lacking in America, in the church today. I think for all of us, we're struggling with this, how to really maintain a heart of joy, to really experience really this really foundational emotional stability of joy, right? Much deeper than just our happiness. And so I think when we think about joy in our emotions, our emotional state, I think the thing that Paul wants us to focus on here is, well, are we taking time in discipleship and in the body with others, really working out our salvation with fear and trembling, right? God's at work, this idea of partnership with him, and that pursuit is obedience. So if I have a joy problem, I need to ask the tough question, well, I probably have an obedience problem that's leading to a lack of joy problem. And to really work that out. And again, the best context for this is discipleship, right? A small group of men and women holding each other accountable, holding each other to the Word of God, and encouraging each other and praying for the Spirit of God to come right and do His work. So I hope that blesses you, encourages you this Christmas season, and Merry Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful day.